And we're live.
Welcome back, everybody. This is week 17 against the spread NFL picks. Like always, we're going to recap last week. Had a really up and down week, lost 1.5 units. But we're still hovering around 10 units on the year up. We've been hovering around that number all year, back and forth once we got up big. But we'll go ahead and get this recap. Detroit -3, my lock of the week. Christian also had us to play, so we had 3 units on it. Biggest bet of the week, cash that. My lock of the week's improved to 12-4. Atlanta -1. Christian nailed that one, and blowout winner there. Tennessee +3. It says -3 there, but it was actually +3. That was a push. Unfortunate. They were winning the whole game. Got backdoored on that. Cincinnati -1.5. Never had a chance. Got just, Mike Tomlin at home. I've been saying it all year about Mike Tomlin at home, same as Christian, and we just went against it.
Yeah. That was a tough one.
Chaos in Denver. Russell Wilson's not starting. They didn't even come close to that. It was just not a good game for us. Buffalo -12.5. They scratched away with that win. Didn't show up. They seemed to turn the ball over way too much. And then San Francisco. They were dominating that game in the first quarter, and then just started turning the ball over in the red zone. Had some unfortunate bounces with some tip picks from Purdy, and that was your luck of the week, right? So
yeah, I mean, when you throw 3 picks and you're only down 8 points, I mean that's still pretty damn good. So
I think it was the right side. So
yeah. Which pisses me off because all these pros have Baltimore. And they're like, "Oh, I told you Baltimore." Like, dude, this was. I don't know. I still think I was on the right side. I think if they were to play again, obviously everyone's going to be all over San Francisco. But yeah, tough week for sure.
So with that, we'll get into this week 17, and let's do it.
Let's do it. Alrighty, so this is a New Year's episode too, Troy. So happy New Year's, buddy.
Like that.
But first game of the week, we got Jets at Cleveland. We got Cleveland -7.5. The over under 34.5. I'm not gonna have any official plays on this game, but I would definitely lean towards the Jets. Might be like a little live play for me tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna see how the game starts off. I may bet Jets if it gets up to like 10.5 or something like that. May stick it in there as a live, or if they look good, I might take it at +7 or +6. But Browns look good, man. Honestly, I think Browns are one of the scariest teams in the AFC right now. With the way that they're playing, come playoff time, if there's a team that I don't want to play come playoff time, obviously rather than the Ravens in the AFC, I do not want to play these Browns. And I know the Ravens are shaking in their boots, hoping that they do not play these Browns in the playoffs, because that's going to be a nasty divisional game that they don't want. But enough of that. That's in the future. You got anything on this one, Troy?
No, I agree with that. I would not want to play the Browns, and I would not want to play the Rams. Those are the 2 teams I would not want to play. Both of those teams are hot. Joe Flacco has just, we're getting flashbacks to 2013 Joe Flacco right now. He's slinging that thing all over the field. And that defense, man, you get them in the playoff setting, defense travels. So like you said, I wouldn't want to play them. In this game, it's last Thursday night football game of the year. We got 2 this game is just not going to be good. I don't think the Jets really have a chance in this. I can see them covering the 7.5, but I'm not comfortable with it. So nothing here for me. I would listen to Christian here. He has a better gauge on. I don't have much on this one. I think the Browns are good. That defense is good, and Joe Flacco has just been balling. Maybe Joe Flacco will throw a pick because he's just throwing the ball so much. But
exactly, yeah. The biggest thing too is I don't think the Jets are going to be able to get their run game started to open up their pass game, and that's the only time that they're a successful offense. And I just don't think that's going to happen against this D line. So I'm going to stay away from it. Let's hop into this next one, though. I know we love this next game. We got Detroit at Dallas. Dallas -5.5 with an over/under of 53.5. This is going to be one of my picks of the week. It's going to be I'm going to take Dallas minus the 5.5. So yeah, Dallas -5.5. This is easy. Dallas has just had a tough loss to Miami. This is a must NFC win for them right here. And honestly, the Lions played really good last week. We hit them, but this is a Jared Goff that he's not going to be able to sling the ball around. They're going to have to put it on the ground to be successful, and I don't think that they're going to be successful in the run. So I'm all over Dallas minus 5.5. I think that this offense is going to look not very good for the Lions this game, and I don't think the Lions defense is good enough to handle the CeeDee Lamb and the boys. So yeah, Dallas minus 5.5 all the way. What you got on this one, Troy?
Yeah, lock of the week. Dallas minus 5.5. Listen. We've been saying all year Dallas is a home team. They play really well at home. Here they are going back home after losing 2 straight games to 2 tough opponents with the Bills and the Dolphins. They're getting the Lions off of celebrating the NFC North Championship for the first time ever. Like you said, they need to go win this game to have a chance at winning the East. I think they win big. Detroit's defense is not that good. And Dak Prescott is looking for a bounce-back game. Him and CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard, kind of struggled in that last game. So I can see them winning this game big like they did against the Eagles 3 weeks ago. And that defense, man, you get Micah Parsons and them rushing the passer, then they come alive. So, yeah, I think it's a blowout game. So give me the Cowboys minus 5.5, lock of the week.
Yeah, love it. And yeah, Zach, Joe Flacco is definitely the best quarterback in that matchup, but too many points, man. Too many points. But let's hop into this next one. We got Rams at the Giants. Giants plus 4.5. The over/under of 44.5. Man, I heavy lean to the Rams minus the 4.5. It's just a little scary. I was looking at something earlier today that was basically saying the travel time for the LA. This is a 12 o'clock game in New York, which is going to be 9 a.m. in LA, which means these players' bodies are going to be set to the LA time zone. This is going to be an early wake up for them. Might be feeling a little bit of the travel here. Also, Tyrod Taylor's taking over at quarterback. We're not going to see DeVito, but that could also be a good thing for the Rams because Tyrod's going to be throwing the ball a lot, which could lead to a lot of interceptions, hopefully. But I'm going to stay away from it. Too many question marks in this one. What you got on it?
Yeah, no, I was just going to correct you. It's 1 o'clock Eastern for that game.
It's 1 o'clock Eastern?
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock.
Okay.
But anyway, let's see your point. 10 o'clock LA time. But this line was at 6.5, 7 when it opened up. A lot of value there on the Giants. Totally saw the pros coming in heavy on them. When the number got down to 4.5, value switched for me from the Giants to the Rams. So I will be laying the 4.5 with the Rams on the road as one of my picks this week. So give me the Rams minus 4.5. Like you noted, their quarterback situation's all messed up with Tommy DeVito getting benched last week, Tyrod coming in. And Matthew Stafford, man, holy shit, he is back. Like, off of that injury last year after winning the Super Bowl in 21, he has been slinging that thing. And he just shows you why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he's been doing it for 15 years now, and just he keeps doing it at a high level. I think he has the best arm talent ever, maybe Aaron Rodgers as well, but the arm talent's ridiculous. I love Matthew Stafford in this spot against that Giants defense. I don't care that they're on the road. They got to go win this game to make the playoffs. Must-win game, and I think they cover the 4.5. So give me the Rams minus 4.5.
Love it. Alrighty, let's hop into this next one here. We got San Francisco at Washington. Washington plus 12.5 with an over/under of 49.5. This is actually going to be one of my plays of the week. I'm going to be taking the over. I got this at 48. So I'm going to be taking the over at 48. Honestly, I think that the 49ers at least put up 42. I just need the Commanders to put up 7. Commanders' defense is awful. 49ers had a horrible game last week. Brock Purdy had a bunch of interceptions. They're going to be looking to steamroll this team, and even if they don't, I could get a 30-20 game and still win this one. So love the over in this game. I think that, honestly, the 49ers could cover it by themselves, and also we know the Commanders don't have a great offense, but it's a decent offense. So, they could put up 7-14, then the 49ers will cover the rest. So, yeah, I love this over. Was going to be one of my locks of the week, but just going to have it as a weekly play here. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, nothing for me. Bounce back spot for the 49ers after last week's 4 interception, crazy game against the Ravens. I mean, 13 points is a lot, but I would lean heavy that way. I like your over pick as well. Didn't really look into that, but hearing you talk about it, I really do like that. I can see the 49ers getting 30 to 40 points, and then
Easy.
obviously the Commanders mopping up maybe 10 to 17. So I really do like that. So I think you're spot on there, honestly, after hearing that. But nothing for me officially.
Absolutely. Let's hop into this next one. We got Vegas at Indy. I know me and Troy are actually on opposite sides of this one. I'm a heavy lean to Vegas. Was almost one of my plays. I like this Vegas team, man. I like this coach. I like the Vegas team. I know Troy hates Vegas, but I don't know. I think they're a big underdog story. This defense is very underrated. Defense is very good. And we saw Minshew last week against Atlanta. That defense is god awful in the Colts. Minshew is kind of starting to do what he does late in the season, is just starting to kind of calm down and become that backup quarterback again, because he knows he's got 2 more games left of it being a starter, which may be a little positive for the Colts. He might be playing, with his head on fire, knowing this is one of his last starts. But I don't know. I like this Raiders team a lot. Loved what I saw against them in Kansas City last week, so I'm gonna stay away from this one, but I would lean the Raiders plus the 3.5. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, official play for me. I'm taking the Colts -3. Got that earlier this morning. It's jumped to 3.5, which tells you something. Listen, the Colts are not a good road team, but they've been really good at home. They've scored over 20 points every single game at home, and most of those games are in the 30s. So. I think Gardner Minshew's played well at home. He's at home. He's not on the road like he was last week against the Falcons. And the Raiders, man, really overvalued after beating the Chiefs last week. They didn't complete a pass in the second, third, or fourth quarter. They scored 2 defensive touchdowns, and then they won the game at the end of the game by running the ball with Zamir White. I think I'm frozen.
No, you're good.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, I like the Colts at home here. Only having to lay 3 points. I don't see how they don't get this done. Like I said, they score a lot of points at home. I don't see how the Raiders score. Like they just don't. They're not a good offense, man. Don't have any confidence in Aiden O'Connell. And yeah, so the Colts -3, I think, is really easy here. I would go that heavy. It was almost my lock of the week. Christian tried to talk me out of it, but we ended up deciding, I got to roll with it. So, yeah, give me the Colts -3. Give me Gardner Minshew to take care of it, and hopefully Max Crosby doesn't cause too much chaos.
Love it. All righty, let's hop into this next one. Oh, yeah, also, it is a homecoming game for Aiden O'Connell, so just a little tidbit there, but
don't give a damn.
Whatever that means. Arizona at Philly. Philly -10.5 with an over-under of 48. Man, this is a weird one. No really lean on this one at all. This is kind of a weird game. We don't know what Philly is. Jalen Hurts did look a lot better last week, even though they didn't play great. He personally looked a lot better last week, so maybe he's the Jalen Hurts of old and he can cover this. But we also know Kyler Murray is, when he gets these numbers, it's easy pickings for Kyler Murray when he gets this 10 or up number. Hey, shout out Wagga. Bijan, yes sir. Bijan, yes sir. But yeah, nothing on this one. Not even really a lean on this one. It's just a weird game. It's a stay away spot for me. You got anything on this one, Troy?
No, I'm right there with you, man. I think it's too many points. I believe this thing opened up at 12.5. It's dropped down to 10.5. So some pro money coming in on the Cardinals. I think if that thing gets to 9.5, then I might be tempted to take the Eagles. This Cardinals team is one of the worst teams in the league, and they have no help there for Kyler Murray. So if that thing gets under 10, then it's a spot I would look for. But right now at 10.5, just too many. It's just not a good. The hook's not there for me. So nothing officially. If it gets under that number, then look for the Eagles.
Love it. Let's hop into this next one. We got New Orleans at Tampa Bay. This was almost one of my plays of the week. I was just hovering over when this number was at 3.5. I was just hovering the cursor over the Saints, man. Again, Found myself another week here hovering it over the Saints. I couldn't pull the trigger, man. As bad as I wanted to take it, I've taken this Saints team too many times, and they have hurt me too many times to take it. But a heavy lean to the Saints if this number's at 3 or 3.5 on your books. I'm still probably going to take it. It's not going to go to my official plays in the show, but still probably going to take it. But man, it's just tough. And also, so if the Bucs win this game, they will clinch the NFC South, which means that Baker will get an extra $1 million this year bonus. So this is a $1 million game for Baker too. Another reason why I'm not taking the Saints. So put them in a parlay maybe. Don't take them straight up. Maybe, I don't know, adjusted line, something like that. I honestly think I lean Saints, but man, is that a scary spot. You got anything on this one, Troy?
No, but I agree with you. Saints would be the play for me always here. Like, I'm looking at that number. Buccaneers are riding really, really hot right now, but I'm not betting against Baker Mayfield right now. Not doing it. Like you said, that incentive right there for the $1 million. They got too much on the line. They got to go win this game to win the South, and I'm not betting against the Buccaneers right now. That offense looks really good. He has found a really good thing with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin on that offense, and the freaking running back. God, I'm drawing a blank on his name. White. Yeah, Rashad White. Holy shit, he's been really good for them as well.
Yeah, he's been
insane.
And
the Saints suck in the red zone, man. They're terrible in the red zone.
It's bad.
And I can't bet on that team, anymore. So yeah, I think Tampa Bay takes care of it and wins the South. And Baker, I mean, dude has been balling. He's about. We got 2 games left in the season. He'll be at over 4,000 yards at the end of the year. Who would have thought that at the beginning of the year? People were projecting Caleb Williams to go to the Bucs, like pre-season mock drafts and all that shit. It was like the Bucs are going to be the worst team. Caleb Williams mock draft there, and look at him now, about to win the South, be 9-7, 10-7, something
headed
like
to the
that.
playoffs.
Right? So yeah, I'm not betting against that.
Yeah, I mean, I hope the Saints win as a Falcons fan, so we could sneak into that NFC South and win, because I know
you're a Falcons fan this week.
Falcons and Steelers, baby. Falcons and Steelers.
That's with you, bro.
Every week, buddy. But let's hop into this next game. Speaking of the Devils, we got Atlanta at Chicago. Chicago -3 with the over/under at 37.5. Nothing official here. I honestly would probably lean Atlanta plus the 3. Only reason being is no books really have a gauge on Atlanta right now. And coming from a Falcons fan that's watched a lot of Falcons games this year, Taylor Heineke is a very good quarterback. I'm not saying he's great, but what he does with the football compared to a lot of these other trash quarterbacks in this league, hence Aiden O'Connell, etc. He is a very solid middle tier quarterback in the league, I think. So I heavy lean to Atlanta plus 3, but we know Chicago. You never know what you're going to get with them. You could get this team that's one of the best teams in the NFL. You can get this team that's one of the worst teams in the NFL. You never know what you're going to get with them. So I'm going to stay away from it, but lean towards Atlanta. You got anything on this one, Troy?
No, nothing for me officially, but I will say the Bears, I think 4 or 5 of their wins have been at home, and the Falcons, almost all of their losses have been on the road. So, I mean, take that with what you want, but I would probably lean the Bears here because this is one of those coin flip. They're at home games. Falcons have been terrible on the road. We've talked about that before on this podcast, how bad they are on the road. I mean, they lost the damn Panthers 9-7 a couple weeks ago.
And Bears do have a good run defense, which the Falcons, if they can't run the ball, it's GG's.
Listen to the teams the Falcons have lost to on the road: the Panthers and the Cardinals, the Titans. I think I missed. Okay, I'll give you those 3. They've lost to more teams. I'm just trying to give you bad teams. So they've lost to 3 of the worst teams in the league on the road. So it kind of makes me think, like, do we really want to have a lean towards the Falcons here? I don't think so. So I would lean the Bears here, but I'm not going to make this a play, obviously, because we're dealing with 2 really bad football teams. And the Falcons are fighting for a playoff spot somehow because the NFC South is so bad. So nothing for me, but, take that with what you will that I said. But it's going to be one of those low-scoring games. I think that the Falcons have been playing on the road, so we'll see what happens. But nothing. I wouldn't touch this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it either. Honestly, I could see Chicago running away with it. I could see the Falcons, a 12-9 game, and the Falcons win by a 58-yard field goal by Koo. So let's hop into this next game. We got Carolina at Jacksonville. Jacksonville minus 6.5 with the over/under of 38. Man, if you would have told me this line would have been this earlier in the year, I would have told you I'm hammering Jacksonville. But Jacksonville looks terrible, man. Defense looks awful. Trevor Lawrence is playing hurt. Too many unknowns in this game. Panthers suck. But that last drive Carolina had last week where they lost the game not being able to spike it there and stop the clock, man, that drive looked good. And it kind of showed what Bryce Young can do in a good offense. So let's see if the Panthers capitalize on that last drive last week and kind of take that into practice this week and kind of get Bryce Young and these receivers on the same page like they kind of were late in that game last week. So nothing official for me, though, not even a lean. Too many unknowns in this. Is a stay away game for me. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Yeah, the Jags have looked terrible. They were in prime position. What were they? 8-4, 8-3. At one, how many games they lost in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 games in a row. So they were 8-3, in prime position to win that division. And now they're 8-7, trying to fight for a playoff spot. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
To this team.
That whole division's 8-7 too.
I know 3 of the teams are, but yeah. So I think it's a must-win for Jacksonville. You can't lose to this Panthers team. I don't think they're going to lose the game, but we're not going to lay 6.5 with it. So just because they've been playing so bad the last 4 weeks, that's just a stupid-ass bet to lay 6.5 points with a team that's been playing that bad. But if you want to throw them in a money line parlay or tease it down to 2.5 or alternate line, whatever, they're not losing this game. There's no way they're losing this game. So
I like it. Let's hop into this next one. We got Miami at Baltimore. Baltimore minus 3.5 with the over/under of 43.5. Man, everybody's gonna be on Baltimore this week, man. That's why I would probably lean Miami here. Reason being is everyone saw what Baltimore did last week, what they did to the 49ers. What you have to look at is the 49ers beat themselves, man. I honestly think that the 49ers should have won that game if they would have played. That's the worst game they've played all year, in my opinion. And they were still somehow in it with Brock Purdy getting hurt, all those interceptions. Sam Darnold still had a chance to kind of get a touchdown there. They had time for timeouts, but they didn't get it done. I would heavy lean Miami here. It's not going to be one of my official plays because I kind of like my other ones better. And Baltimore has looked like world beaters, and when you don't think they're world beaters, they show up and win. So I'm going to stay away from this one, but heavy lean towards Miami. You got anything on this one, Troy?
I do. Last play of the week, we're going with the Miami Dolphins plus 3.5. Is it 4 now?
You got it at 4, yeah.
Oh.
When you sent me your picks,
I'm sorry. I was looking at 3.5 right there. It kind of threw me off. Well, give me Miami plus 4.
Even better.
Even better. I did take it at 4, but the 3.5 kind of threw me off there.
3.5, 4,
yeah,
same thing.
Like Christian said, everybody and their mom is going to be on the Ravens after last week's win. They're riding high. We've done this all year. We've done this all year with me. I've done this with the Bills earlier in the year. I've done it with the Cowboys, the Eagles. They have a big win. Everyone's riding high. Public's all over it. Oh my God, I'm getting 3.5 points right here, 4 points to win a game. Yeah, give me the Ravens. I think give me the Ravens. But listen, the weakness of this Ravens team is the secondary. Hamilton is probably not playing the star safety there. And guess what? The Dolphins like to do. Throw to Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, give me the Dolphins plus 3.5, plus 4, whatever you got it at. I like it at both numbers. I'll even take it at plus 3. We're still getting that push territory right there. And I really, really, and like I've said this before, Lamar Jackson and Harbaugh are not good against the spread as favorites of 3.5 more. I've given you statistics on it all year if you've watched the podcast. And look at the spot we're at right now, 3.5. Now, when they're underdogs or under that number, they're really good against the spread. So take that with what you will. But I'm going to ride with the history here. I'm going to ride with Mike McDaniel and the Dolphins. Big win last week for them. I think they keep riding with that. Give me the Dolphins plus 3.5, plus 4.
Love it. Love it. Alrighty, let's see here. Let's hop into this next one. We got Tennessee at Houston, with Houston minus 4.5 with the over under of 42.5. Yeah, this is gonna be my lock of the week. Actually, Tennessee. I got this at plus 5 earlier in the week. Tennessee plus 5. Tough loss last week. They're going to the Texans to go play. C.J. Stroud's still questionable to play, so we still see that with C.J. Stroud. Without C.J. Stroud, I still think that they cover this number. Reason being is I think Mike Vrabel's job's on the line. Honestly, this Tennessee team has been underperforming. I've heard news that Mike Vrabel's job may be on the line. Now, of course, if he gets fired here, he's just going to go to another NFL team immediately, because he's still a great coach. Tennessee's just probably wanting to start with something new. It hasn't been working. I mean, he's been in there for a while. They've had maybe 1-2 successful seasons. So, I mean, he's a great coach, but it's just not getting done in Tennessee. So I could see him going somewhere else. And it might even be a situation where Vrabel just says, you know what, fuck you guys, I'm just going to quit. You know what I mean? And go somewhere else. So I think Vrabel's job's on the line. So I love this Tennessee spot. Tough loss last week. As we had them last week plus 3, and it was a push. So tough loss there. I think that they big comeback week this week. I think they take care of the Texans handedly. Even the Texans, if they do have C.J. Stroud, what's his name being out, Tank Dell. With Tank Dell still being out, that offense doesn't look the same without him. So yeah, love the Titans. Love the Titans here plus 5. Give it to me as the lock of the week. But let's go on to this next. Or you got anything on this one, Troy?
I was just going to disagree with you about the firing thing, but I think he's jumping at the opportunity to possibly get that New England job if they go off of Bill Belichick there. So I can definitely see that happening. And I think the spread was at 3.5 on Tuesday, and it's obviously gone up in Houston's favor. So I don't hate it at that 5 number.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I got on my book and saw that it was plus 5, and I was like, yep, like, give me that. So yeah, love this. And yeah, I did see that news where Vrabel's job actually may be on the line, per Tennessee Titans beat reporter. So we shall see. But let's hop into this next one here. We got New England traveling to Buffalo. Buffalo minus 13.5 with an over under of 40.5. Man. I would honestly lean New England plus the 13.5. We see this line kind of moving up. Seems like a lot of people came in on Buffalo minus 12, minus 12.5. But I honestly like New England. This is kind of one of those Bill Belichick moments. If he is on his way out, like it sounds like he is, then give it to me, man. Beat the Bills one last time before he goes. You know, on the road, I mean, that would be crazy. Not saying they're going to win, but I think that it could be a nasty, ugly game and they could cover. But yeah, I'm not going to take it as an official play, but I would definitely lean the Patriots plus the 13.5. You got anything on this one, Troy?
Looking at this comment from Brendan, I don't know what that means.
Coming for your records, Dan.
Oh, never mind. I remember. I know what he's talking about. He's talking about Mike McDaniel. Never mind. Anyways, yeah, no, Bill Belichick, man, he somehow has this team fighting hard every week, even after they ended up not scoring any points and losing to teams that didn't score over 10 points. This team's still fighting hard and somehow winning games. It just shows how good of a coach he is, and even when the roster talent's just not there. So I would lean that way too. I'd lean the Patriots plus 13. It's just so many points. We saw last week with the Bills, heavy favorite. I think you took the Bills. Yeah, they just didn't show up and still won the game.
Playing the worst team in the league.
Yeah, exactly. So I can see the Patriots keeping this game close. Bills winning this game by 7 and 10 and getting a cover there. So nothing official, obviously, because I'm maxed out on my picks, but I would lean that way.
Absolutely. Let's hop into this next one. The Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to the Seahawks. Seahawks minus 3.5 with an over/under of 41.5. With no biases here, I'd probably lean the Seahawks minus the 3.5, minus the 3. Only reason I wouldn't is because that bad man Rudolph. I mean, last week diced up the Bengals defense, looked like a starting quarterback in the league. Doubt he does it again. I highly doubt he does it again. So I would lean the Seahawks, but man, there's a chance. I mean, we always have those crazy stories like for instance, Geno Smith came in, got the starting job, and ended up being a pretty damn good NFL quarterback. So maybe we got the same story here, but yeah, not gonna bet any money on it. I gotta wait and see if that happens. So no picks on me. No picks here for me. Probably just lean Seahawks -3.5. If it gets down to -3, may honestly consider taking it. You got anything on this one, Troy?
No, but last one went out for me right here. I was texting you about it. Seattle -3.5. Last one out. Would lean that way heavy. But what scared me is Mike Tomlin's never had a losing record in the NFL. Right? So if he wins this game, he accomplishes that one more time. If he loses the game, then he's got to do it next week. So
I'm pretty sure. I don't remember our schedule, but I'm pretty sure we played we already played Baltimore twice, I believe. I think we played Baltimore twice. It is.
But anyways, my point is,
I'll look at it. Go ahead.
He'll have that team. He'll have that team ready. If he's not gonna go out with a losing record. He's never done it before.
Yeah, we played the Ravens last week, the Steelers. So
right, but
he's gonna have a losing record.
He's got to win this game then.
Well, no,
right?
Let's see. They're 8-7, so they'd be 8.
No, 9 would be a winning record.
Yeah, you're right. So if he wins this game, yeah, he's just got to win this game.
And I guess, oh shit, I didn't realize the Baltimore-Miami game too is for potentially first place, because then you put Miami at 12-4, Baltimore would then be 12-4, and then Miami would have the head-to-head
tiebreaker.
So there's a big game there. And what they got this game at 1:00? Why is this game not at 8? Who's the 8 o'clock game?
I hope it gets.
Oh my god!
What is it?
Fucking Packers and Vikings.
Oh yeah, I got to play on that one.
They better flex that shit. Anyways, let's roll on to the next one.
All right, let's hop to the next one. We got Cincinnati at Kansas City. Kansas City -7 with an over/under of 44.5. As we always say on this show, Patrick Mahomes under a field goal, take them. Over a field goal, take the other side. I'm not
definitely
taking
over 7. Take them.
Yeah, for sure.
The line has come down. It was 8.5 or 9 or whatever. It's down to 7 now. People have been hammering it.
Yeah,
I think we might be a little too late at 7.
Yeah.
Don't really like much in this game. We're kind of in KC just doesn't look the same offensively.
Yeah. I think this is a good parlay leg, maybe. KC money line. They can't lose. They literally cannot lose this game.
No.
Yeah, this is a must-win spot for them. So maybe a money line, but
I wonder what it would look like wild card wise. Well, no, they would win the division because that division's pretty bad. Never mind.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of like who. Yeah, no, it's Las Vegas and Denver, and they're not catching him. So
yeah,
looks like they'll be in the playoffs again by default there. But anyways.
But yeah, nothing on this one. Maybe just throw Kansas City money line in your parlays this weekend. That's the only thing I can think about. I don't think they lose this game. Must-win spot. Bengals got spanked by the Steelers on the road, and now they got to go play Kansas City on the road. That's tough, man. That's real tough. So, but yeah, nothing on this one. Let's hop into this next one. That was a pretty stay-away game there. Chargers at Denver. Denver is -3.5.
Shout out to, like we said earlier, Jared Stidham is the starting quarterback. Russell Wilson got benched because of it looked like because of financial stuff. I think he has something in the contract where if he gets hurt, some type of money's due. I don't remember exactly the fine print of it, but it's definitely for financial issues. It might be the worst contract in the NFL.
What is it if he like doesn't play like a certain amount of games? They don't have to pay him.
No, they tried to apparently. I read this earlier before we got on, and I completely forgot everything. They tried to pay him, or they tried to negotiate with him and his agent and the NFLPA about some type of thing with his contract, and basically he was like, "Fuck off," not doing that. And so it's all well. Just go if you're watching, go look this up if you want to know more details about it, because the decision was all financial. But Jared Stidham's your starting quarterback. So you got Easton Stick and Jared Stidham in this 4 o'clock window in the AFC
You
West.
almost got to take
So,
Chargers plus 3.5, right?
I mean, I think you just fucking pass on the game.
Yeah, you pass on it with
Well,
gun to your head. You got to take Chargers plus 3.5.
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
But
better defense or talented defense. I don't know about the defensive play callers and all that. But yeah, stay away from this game. 2 backup quarterbacks. Nasty, nasty game.
here we go. Here we go. So the Broncos approached Wilson 2 days after their October 29th upset win over Kansas City. And told him he would be made inactive for the rest of the season if he did not adjust his contract and defer the injury guarantee trigger date that he has for 2025. That's apparently what it was about. So they don't want to risk him about getting injured. The team, Wilson's camp, NFLPA, and another unknown party were involved in negotiations that ended with no change in Wilson's contract. And so that's why I guess he is getting benched. So there you go.
One of the worst contracts of all time, possibly. Denver and Russell Wilson. I mean, what a freaking disappointment! What a overpaying. But yeah, let's hop into this last game. We got Green Bay at Minnesota. We got Minnesota -2 with an over under of 46.5. This is going to be my last play of the week. It is going to be the over 45 Minnesota and Green Bay. Reason being is basically when you have 2 quarterbacks that like to throw interceptions, the over 90% of the time hits. And y'all are going to see 2 overs on here for me. I got a little stat for you guys here. The overs in week 16 were 11-5, and they hit at a 69% clip. So I'm gonna ride the wave here. I'm gonna change everything up a little bit. I'm gonna take 2 overs this week. I'm gonna take the San Francisco Washington over, and then this over as well, the Green Bay versus Minnesota. I like both of them. I think Green Bay, this Minnesota defense is, I think, kind of overvalued a little bit. I don't think this Minnesota defense is as good as everybody thinks that they are. Also, we saw Green Bay last week with the run game. That run game looked so good last week with Aaron Jones, at least in the first half. They just got to keep it going in the second half. So, yeah, I love the over here. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think this one's going to clear the over 45 here. But, yeah, I love this spot. You got anything on this one, Troy?
No, I'm trying to get my head around the over. Trying to figure out if I like it or not. The only thing that scares me about it is the divisional game, and you know how those things are sometimes. The Vikings defense is actually not terrible, and did you see the corner for Green Bay's also suspended, Alexander?
Right, great for us.
Okay, so there we go. It kind of gets me. Yeah, I don't hate it. I guess for me, I would lean Green Bay +2. Division games where the home team's a favorite. It's been pretty bad against the spread in recent years, so I would lean that way a little bit, but nothing official for me, obviously. But I don't mind that over, Christian. I think that's a good call.
Yeah, I like it. I think both these quarterbacks like to throw interceptions, may see some defensive touchdowns. And honestly, I just can't see this game's going to be close, and I don't see it being a low-scoring close. Neither of these teams like low-scoring games, really. I think both teams have maybe had 1 or 2 all year. They like to score a lot of points. Especially if this run game is as good as it was last week with the Packers, I mean, shoot, they could put up 30 easily. They just got to keep it going and build off what they had going last week. But yeah, love the over here. Love the other over. So hopefully we're on the over train, and week 17 is just like week 16 if these overs are hitting. But yeah, that's it for us this week. That's week 17 against the spread NFL edition. Sign us out here, Troy.
Yeah, let's have a fucking week right here. Let's go 8-0. Let's win some money. And let's get this train to our goal of 20 units that we had at the beginning of the year. God, we've gotten up to 14, 15, going back down. We're hovering around 10 right now the last couple weeks. So let's push this thing through to the finish line. We got one more week next week, and then about 4 weeks of playoffs, Super Bowl, all that good stuff. So we'll see you next week. check the Twitter for plays. We didn't add any last week, nothing we really liked, but might add some stuff this week. So be tuned into that. Thanks for listening, and like, subscribe.